Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a video on just a general video on my first 1,000 miles, what I've learned, maybe some tips I have to offer for if you're a beginner and you're trying to get into motorcycles. Try to offer as many tips as I can as I'm learning on this bike. I feel like the best teachers are learners, if that makes sense. Because often when you don't have all of the knowledge already in your head, you come up with newer, different ways to do things, maybe more efficient, better ways to do things. But yeah, and so in this video, I'm going to talk about what I've learned so far in these first 1,000 miles, the equipment I've used, some tips, talk about my first close call. I had a close call my first week riding this bike. Then let's see, and just kind of the trips I've done so far in these first 1,000 miles. You know, what it's like being in traffic, getting on the highway for the first time, realizing that other drivers really truly don't see you when you're on this thing. So that just figuring out the differences between this and a car is probably what your first 1,000 miles are. And also just getting comfortable, you know. After, I'd say now I'm a few thousand miles in at the time that I'm making this video, but I feel way more comfortable on this bike now. You know, it feels lighter, it feels more nimble. I feel like I can, you know, I can do slow speed stuff way better, more efficiently than before, you know. So yeah, let's get right into it. So let's try to do this before we get into the highway and it's way louder. So yeah, I mean, in my first 1,000 miles, I've gotten way more comfortable on the bike. I started just in neighborhoods, just going around my neighborhoods, I did some light back roads, nothing with too many twisties, but just things that I knew, roads that I knew weren't going to be very busy. So that's a big thing, is just find a road, find a parking lot that doesn't have very much traffic, doesn't have a lot of people in it. If you do a parking lot, it's not the worst for it to have parked cars in it, because you can kind of pretend that those are lanes and you can get used to being next to a big vehicle. And then, you know, you're at the advantage that it's not moving, so you can try your best not to hit it. But yeah, get really good at the slow speeds. Set up some cones. A lot of parking lots, like school parking lots, already have cones in them. So get out, move them around, make some figure eights, make a straight line, whatever it is. Just practice that. Practice parking your motorcycle. That probably has helped. It's probably what helped me get comfortable with the weight more than anything else, is just pulling up to a parking spot and trying to park the bike, you know. Let's see. So yeah, get your slow speeds down. First, don't try to get on the road right away. I mean, unless you have giant cojones of steel, I would suggest not doing that, just because, you know, it's dangerous out there. Whether you could be as good as you want, but there are some things that you just aren't ready to look out for when you first start, you know. Now I'm so much more aware. I thought I was aware when I first started. I thought that I'd be good at getting on a motorcycle because of that. generally pretty observant. And you just realize that you're actually not paying as much attention as you think you are. So yeah, anyways, get your slow speeds down. Then my first 1,000 miles, let's see, get your slow speeds down, get on the roads, and don't let yourself get psyched out too much for too long. So for me, getting on the highway, that was my thing I was psyching myself out with. Once I learned how to do the main roads around my neighborhood, and you know, going to like the thrift store and the grocery store and stuff, using those roads and some of the back roads, then I finally was like, okay, let's get on the highway because this is the next challenge. I am a firm believer in not letting yourself get psyched out. So if it's on your mind, just go for it. Immerse yourself and get into it. Getting on the highway for the first time was very nerve-wracking, but I did it. I looked up some videos and some tips, and the one that stuck with me was to just get out, get on the highway, don't switch any lanes, just stay in the right lane, get out on the first exit. So you just get used to how much more wind it is, how much more powerful the wind is, and how much faster everything is, how much faster the cars are going. And then I did it again. I got right back on, went down another 2 exits, and I just kept building. And eventually I started commuting, going to work. That's what I'm doing now. So getting on the highway was it was nerve-wracking at first, but it was something I did before my first 1,000 miles. So people are telling you got to wait longer and this and that. You don't necessarily have to. Just make sure you get the practice in there before you do it. Yeah, so you're getting on the highway, then actually that was a huge confidence boost. Started commuting to work, and you know, 'cause that was the purpose of me getting this motorcycle too, is just not only is it cheaper, you know, to get to work back and forth, but it's a lot more fun. It gets my mind in gear before I get to work, you know. I'm conquering the road before I have to conquer a bunch of calls and tasks, minute tasks at work. So yeah. Another thing too, in my first 1,000 miles, honestly, my first week on the motorcycle, I had a close call. And close calls are crazy because they happen so often that after a while you stop being scared by them, or you expect them. But every time I look at that video, I think of how crazy it actually was. It was one of those situations, and I'll play it right here real quick so you guys can see it. But it's one of those situations where the guy was looking into the sun. It was sunset, you know. They were turning left onto like kind of onto a little bit of a hill. Like the road I was on was a little bit of a hill, so they definitely just they couldn't see me at all, you know. They weren't paying attention. I could see the lady had her hand over her eyes, and I could just feel it that they were gonna do that. I could just tell in my head. I was like, I know this person's gonna go. So I slowed down, took it easy, and you know, they just expected it. And man, did that humble me, because I had to do a little swerve. I had to, you know, get out of the way. I made sure, you know, not to overreact too much and just kind of pay attention to my exit and just get home safe, you know. It was right by my house too, so that's when I try to get the most alert. Is usually right when you're about to get to your destination is when somebody decides to fuck with you. So yeah, I had my first close call that day. Maybe like my third or fourth day taking my bike out on the road, and yeah, it was a humbling experience, but you get used to it after a while. Unfortunately, that's the reality of riding a bike, is you hit so many, you just realize so many people in traffic are not paying attention to you. They don't give a shit. They don't see you. They're not looking for motorcycles, and you just gotta pay attention for them, you know? You gotta be accountable, account for them. Doing, like, just expect that they're gonna do the worst thing. Expect that they're gonna pull out. Expect that they're gonna do that, you know? I have another video where a guy pulling a trailer, somebody in front of him, he must have been driving with his buddy, because his buddy pulls out in front of me, but his buddy was, you know, I was far enough behind or away so that he could pull out just fine, and he wasn't pulling a trailer. But then the guy with the trailer pulls out in front of me, and, you know, normally without the trailer he probably would have got in front of me just fine, but without it, I mean, and then here's an example right here. Look at this dumbass. Like, you see I'm on a motorcycle and you're gonna come and cut me off like a fucking idiot. Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Couldn't it be perfect? Go! Couldn't it be more perfect? Like, what are you even doing, bro? Like, wait behind me, or, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta expect people to do the worst, and there you go. Like, right when I'm talking about it, it happens. But you try your best not to overreact. I mean, I definitely overreacted there, but it's because I was on the subject already. But yeah, so the guy pulls out in front of me, his trailer lags behind, and I have to slow way down. When I had the right of way, he could have waited. There was no one behind me. He could have waited. A lot of times it almost feels like they're doing it on purpose, but you just gotta try not to let your emotions get the best of you and keep it moving, because you don't wanna ride around mad. You know, motorcycles are supposed to make you feel good. They're supposed to lower your cortisol levels, lower your anxiety, and for me it does all of that. So look, the sun is coming out. It's a cloudy day, but here comes the sun. It's a good day. It's a real good day. So yeah, so let's see. Then I purchased a bunch of different equipment. I mean, so this bike is a 2007 V-Star. To me, it was in mint condition. Like, guy had it at like 15, almost 16,000 miles, and I've put it, it's about at like 18.5 now, I think. Haven't looked at the miles in a little while, but it runs perfectly, you know. It does everything I need. And so I haven't had to buy much. It came with some saddlebags. I replaced those. I'll show you guys here what I put on it, but I got this jacket here, this Joe Rocket padded jacket. It's nice because it has an insert, so if it's colder it blocks it, but it's mesh. So right now it's a hot day, and riding on the highway feels nice because it's like just got a fan blowing on me, and it's keeping me pretty good. Yeah, so it's a nice jacket. I would suggest getting a nice padded jacket. Get yourself a helmet. I got a full face modular helmet. I also have a bucket. That was the first one I got because I wasn't totally educated on it. The day that I had that close call, I got online and was like, you know what, I'm buying a fucking full face helmet. I originally, not afraid to admit, was like, I'm gonna do the bucket. I want to be able to see. It looks cooler, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, right. As soon as I had my close call, I said, nope, we're getting a helmet and we're gonna do this the right way. So I got me a modular helmet so that I can, you know, lift it up and down when I want. See, look, here's another one. Like, what is the point? Like, just stay in your freaking lane. Traffic is not moving. So yeah, I got the full face helmet. and it's great. I am a huge fan of the modular because it's got everything you need on it. It usually has a second visor on the inside for the sun, and you can lift it up when you're hot, because it gets hot under here. Definitely gets hot under here. And your breath, if your breath stinks, you want to get away from it too. So there's that. Let's see, I got these gloves, these Indy Ridge gloves. I love these. I love the color. They have the little tips so I can still mess with my phone. They're protecting the knuckles pretty well. I would like for it to have more of a padding on my palms, but I think it's fine the way it is. Let's see, I don't have any pants yet, but I usually double up on the jeans, or I have some knee pads that I wear sometimes, but for the most part I ride really slow, so I'm not too concerned about it. But even at slow speeds you can get cooked, so keep that in mind. Let's see. What was the point of that lady getting in front of me? Did she just want to stay behind the truck? Is that what's going on? I'm so confused. Yeah, see, now I'm on the highway, chilling, doing my thing. Such a great feeling. Knowing that, it's like a little fun activity right before going to work. Can't beat it. Let's see. Oh, I put this fairing on here to block the wind. I was taking wind directly to the chest before, and now with this fairing, it's like night and day, you know. It's real nice. Super easy. Makes the ride a little bit more stable. Took me a while to figure out exactly how to get it on there the perfect way, but made the ride way more stable. Let's see. I think that's it, you know. That's kind of my first 1,000 miles right there. I had my first close call in the first week of riding. I practiced my slow speeds. I bought a bunch of equipment, you know. I got a bunch of storage for my saddle. I got a jacket, and now I have a few more jackets. Got some riding boots as well. But you don't need everything right away. You can buy it as slowly as you want. The most important part is a jacket, a jacket, a helmet, and gloves. Then after that, you can kind of gauge it as you need things. Let's see, I learned that, you know, traffic really doesn't see you. As you can see, there was a couple examples there where people just take you over. They assume that their cars aren't as big as they think, and they just take your space. So don't try to fight for it. Just, you know, slow down, let them go through. It's not worth your life. It's not worth falling, you know. It doesn't feel like you're going as fast as you are on this thing, but once you hit the ground, you realize you are actually going really, really fast. So, you know, I did drop my bike a couple times. You know, luckily it was just in parking lots and things, and like while trying to make some stupid Instagram videos, it would just kind of drop it or lose balance, but nothing crazy, thank God. People really don't see you in traffic, so keep that in mind. Keep your head on a swivel. Let's see. And yeah, it's a great confidence booster. So after my first 1,000 miles, I definitely feel way more confident on this thing. I learned so much more about my bike, what speeds it can handle really well, and you know, how far to lean on my turns, and the gears, you know, I know which gear I'm in now just by feel. And you know, it's one of those things that it's a great experience, you know. It's just stick around for those first 1,000 miles and keep an open mind. Try not to be too like impatient. Just take it easy, learn your bike, learn how you ride, and improve on it as you go. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna get to work now. Enjoy this last minute or two of just getting on this bike. Goddamn. There's some fucking road debris right there. That's a big old bag of I don't know what. Wasn't trying to find out though.